Here in part 6 of our 6-part series, we'll cover service. So from the home screen, press service, and here are all your options under the service icon. Now, some of these options are not allowed to edit. These are protected OEM password from engineering. There are some things that we don't want people getting in and changing. Example, we had a boiler that was a Pennant 750. You can't go in and change that to a 2 million BTU boiler. So some of those are password protected. So again, these are just some of the icons that are available under service.
Before I talk about service, I'm going to give this boiler a call for heat, and you'll see a message box appear. And anytime there's a message symbol, you can click on it, and it will tell you what's going on. Example here, warning, the flow switch is opened. And when I go back to the home screen, that symbol is now in gray. That means somebody identified it or opened that icon, but did not correct the issue. So let's go back in. Now let's go on to service, and there's some options here for service. For technicians or starting up a boiler, a commissioning agent, go to Digital I/O. And this is your sequence of operation for your safety devices, such as flow switch, low water cutoff, etc. Whatever is in red, that's where you've lost power, or that's where your device is open. An example, if I make the flow switch, that is now everything is made, and now we're actually going into ignition or pre-purge. So again, any device that is open, in this example, I'm using a simulator, I just threw the toggle switch for high gas pressure switch. So you'll see up to the thermal cutout, if the boiler has it, will read thermal cutout. Any device that has to be manually reset, such as a high gas or low gas pressure switch or low water cutout, you cannot just reset it from the touchscreen display or the Laars Linc display. You have to physically reset the device and then reset the control. So in this example, I'll reset the high gas pressure switch. However, I'm still in a hard lockout. And no matter what I do here, even if I go back to the home screen, it will be there. So once the device is reset and our blower is off, now you can reset from the home screen. So it'll be locked out in two areas. One is the device, and one is the actual home screen for Laars Linc. So again, that's your sequence of operation. That is everything in the safety chain. Again, you'll see messaging, or you can come here to Digital I/O. So we also have the option here for outputs. So we can click on outputs and it'll give us more information about the system. Right now we're not running. Why? Because I don't have a call for heat or a TT call. But our system pump's on, DHW pump's off. We're not in an alarm status. Our boiler pump is on. As I give a boiler a call for heat, it'll go through its sequence of operation, pre-purge, ignition, etc. So that is more valuable information as well.
The next thing we'll talk about is burner, screen, and history.
So back to burner. Here at burner, you can enable or disable burners. We are allowed to edit. Why? Because we're in I for installer on the password. It may vary depending on the product you're working on. I'll back out of that. Next one is screen. And the screen is the auto time lockout. So what that is, that's the backlight. So it's set for seconds, and so it's backlit. So when you come up to a boiler, you may not see it. Just may be a black screen. Just tap on it, and that is what the screen settings are. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to choose history. Now the history, this is just information. And for example, it's giving us demand cycles. This is a simulator, so we only have a few cycles on it. It'll give you burner cycles, pump cycles for your boiler, DHW, or system, lockout history. And again, this is just a simulator, but we have 6 lockouts. We'll store up to 10. And if you continue to have more lockouts, it'll drop the oldest one. You will have your date and times in here, providing you set up your date and time during the programming or commissioning. Over here, some more stats, boiler temperatures, so your maximum, your minimums, and burner run times.
Next, we'll talk about restart, factory reset, and about.
You can click restart, and what this is doing is rebooting the actual display, and it's checking the module, and it's going to go through its synchronization process. So now we're back to the home screen. So how do we get back there? Very simply, press service, and that was restart. Factory reset is you can reset the boiler. So if somebody had gotten in and changed a bunch of parameters, and instead of going through each parameter, you can bring it back to factory default by clicking factory reset. Now it's been denied. Why? Because of the login level. So when I restarted the display, we went back to user. So again, we have to be in the installer password, and that is 17. Click enter, and you'll see I for installer appear. So now when I come back into factory restart, it's going to give you a warning, basically talking about your settings. You really sure you want to reset it. So keep in mind, if we reset, you'll have to go back into CH1, give it its set points. You'll have to go to outdoor reset. All the parameters, you're going to have to go back in and reprogram them the way you had them. So I'll click reset, and it's going to tell me to power the cycle for the boiler. So basically I have to power off the toggle switch and power it back on, and it will resynchronize or reboot. So now that we've reset it, and keep in mind, we're back to user. So if I have to make any other adjustments or changes, I will have to go back to installer. And some of this other information is just, so I will have to go back to installer, type in 17, enter. And the other things such as HMI, some of these things will be logged out for you. This is from engineering, so we do not want people getting in to make changes, so that's not available on the installer level. However, if we click about, this is the information for the firmware for the control and display. And that's only informational purposes, so if anyone's ever on the phone with tech support, maybe there was a firmware change at some point, you can get this information for them.
Please don't forget that all this information is in the installation operation manuals at laars.com under document downloads. If you also have technical questions, please contact tech support at 1-800-900-WARM. Application support is prompt 72, and part support is 71. Also, there are additional videos at laars.com or YouTube. Thank you.